Hey guys, it's Eric Roth from 10 Minute Trades, and welcome to our third episode, Growth Mindset and how to go from day trading to investing. I'm alone today, right? So I don't have any of my 10 Minute Trade team members, and so I need your help. So first of all, I want to make sure that everyone can hear me and everyone could see my screen. Could I just get some feedback from everybody? Just want to make sure that you could hear me and could see me. So I see today we have Andrew, Bob, Brandon, Larry, Mark, Rem. So I'm assuming that you guys can hear me and see me. Otherwise, you let me know if there's any issues. Want to make sure that we start off on the right foot. Okay, guys? So, and please, we're here together, so I need help. If you want to give me feedback, there's a chat box and you could type it in the chat. So again, want to make sure that everyone can hear me. But I guess we'll go ahead and get started. And yeah, I think we're good. All right. So first of all, I want to thank everyone for being here today. It really means a lot to me, right? The podcast is something that we're starting to beta test. Podcasts are all over the place, similar to webinar, right? But it definitely, you'll see that it's unscripted. It's not a presentation, right? It's just me in front of a camera, going to be Lee, and we're going to have exciting guests. And actually, if anyone's brave, like I did last time, we had a gentleman that came on the podcast. But today's focus, right? And you took, we're probably going to spend about 30 to 45 minutes together on this Monday, December 6th. It's noon where I am, and together. And so I know that you got your smartphone. There's a lot of distractions. I think for this one, I'd ask that if you could just stay with me and just engage with me. I think you'll really get a lot out of this one because I'm going to be very vulnerable. I'm going to share with you stuff from my personal life and things. We talk about growth mindset. It's not that everyone wakes up one morning and it's like in a good attitude and high performing, right? There's an experience in life which everyone goes through, right? So if you don't really know me, I'll just start off there, right? So I'm Eric Roth. I'm one of the partners at 10 Minute Trades. And, you know, at 10 Minute Trades, we, just like in the name, right, we have a trading strategy that we teach folks, right? And my story is that in 2013, my partner, Jay, I was able to utilize the day trading strategy, take a $2,000 account, turn into $20,000 in profits, right? And then what, right? So is this the financial tool that I have all my financial success from? And guess what? The answer is no. And it got me thinking, and I really feel, one disclosure I have to share with you. I went to school for accounting. I'm not a financial advisor, right? But this is something that I never really shared with folks, and that is, how can you use 10-minute trades, and if you're starting out and you're starting to have success, what's the picture for everybody, right? Like, what's the long-term goal? So we're going to get to that. But one thing that I want to start off with is focusing on that growth mindset, right? When I started on this journey, I was in my early 20s. I tried to do day trading in college, but I didn't invest in any courses while I was at school. It was only until I entered the workforce and was working a 9 to 5 and starting to get a real taste of reality. I really wasn't working a 9 to 5. I was actually working for a big four accounting firm, and I was working without exaggerating. I'd get to the office between 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I would leave no earlier than 8:30 on most days. Right, I was putting in a lot of hours, and it's just so fortunate that I'll fast forward, right? I was able to find somebody. I was actually looking to learn about marketing, and the gentleman that I connected with had a futures trading company, and that's how I met Jay. And I'm like, you know what? I need to start investing in myself and learning other financial tools, right? And that's really the first part, right? When it comes to having a growth mindset, I really feel that it comes down to, um, you know, where are some things that you need help with, right? And recognizing, I need help in this area, and recognizing that it's okay for me to invest in trying to better myself in that area, right? So I know And this is what I meant about being vulnerable, right? In my early 20s, I was always, I'm married now, and I would say I was pretty good. I dated a lot of girls, but there was still this skill set that I was very, I was working in downtown Manhattan, and I would never had that confidence to be able to like just stop, a very attractive female on the street. Like, how do you engage that with that person, like while you're on the sidewalk, for example, right? So I remember for me, most of my life, very happy. I like to say kid, right? I still feel like I'm a kid, right? I'm in my early 30s, married, 2 kids. But most of my life, I'll tell you very sincerely that never really had any major downs. The one down that I'm going to share with you was I remember when my father, in my sophomore year in I was a student at Binghamton University. I was trying to get an internship, and to get an internship or summer internship during your sophomore year, I mean that's kind of like that's usually for junior and senior years. So my father, who worked for Merrill Lynch as a computer programmer, he had a connection right with his financial advisor, and he arranged for me. This is like the one, daddy help, right? Where my dad arranged for me to get a summer internship. It wasn't paid, just for college credit, and I remember going in during my financial internship to Merrill Lynch. I was working at Two World Financial Center, and I'll tell you, it was a down point in my life because it just like going into that corporate space. I was really out of my element, like that transitioning. Okay, this is again when I'm like 8, 19, 20 years old, and at the same time trying to also like, well, it's different now, like different atmosphere. So make it a short story. I just want to tell you that it's important to reflect on where you are in life, right? And I know what it feels like. I remember that feeling of being down and like waking up in the morning. And I'm a morning guy. I like to wake up in the morning, like to like start working out, early, start my day. I remember what it feels like to not want to get out of the bed and really feeling low and really, I hate to use the word, the press word, right? But I was definitely down. And I remember going into the office like, what am I doing? And I would say it was a culmination of things. Number one, I was going to this finance internship. I was not really getting all this good mentoring, and like I really felt like I was just wasting my summer over there. So I said, you know what, Eric, how can we make the best use of this time? And I just started to invest in things that I knew that I needed to grow on. So some themes maybe that'll hit for you, and you'll see how this transitions into trading. And again, guys, I'm going outside my comfort zone, right? This podcast thing is new to me too. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more articulate. And I thank you for being, I don't want to say my test audience. I'm so fortunate. We just celebrate Thanksgiving to have, there's 20 folks in live with me right now, and I just want to let you know, every one of you, for staying with me. It means the world to me, and I really hope that you're going to get a lot out of this session. Okay, so for number one is that growth mindset, right? Each of us, doesn't matter where we are in life, we each have things that we know. We don't need to hire a professional coach to come help us. We know, if you actually just look yourself in the mirror, you know right now what are some of the things that you could kind of work on improving yourself. Now, the things that like you have to think about, okay, that's good, but there are things that you know. So I'll give you an example, right? And whatever you think about me, right? We all prejudge people. I was a shy guy growing up. One of the things that I stumbled upon was, my first language wasn't even English. My first language, even though language is one of my flaws, is Russian. My parents both immigrated here in the 70s. And when I went to public school, I actually, that's where like I was very behind in kindergarten. Right? I grew up here. I was born here, but my parents spoke Russian to me at home. And I remember like just feeling, I don't know, embarrassed that I was not at the same level as everyone else. And so fast forward, I stopped speaking Russian, really worked on my English. But I think that was like a seed in me, where planted a seed where maybe it hurt my self-esteem. But later in life, I just remember I didn't like to be called upon to like read anything out loud. So what did I do? Did I invest in like a coach or anything like that? No, I read a book, right? And it might sound cliche, and now the new book is just listen to a 10-minute podcast, right? And so the book was Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And so I I said, you know what, Eric? And in college is when I really utilized this. And I'm thankful, right? Because, there are opportunities in life where there's like, it's a little bit easier to test these things out. So in college, I went from, the guy that please don't call on me. In fact, true story. I remember once I was at a dinner in college where I knew that they were going to call on people during the dinner to like read something, and I actually left. I actually left like to hide in the bathroom for a little bit, right? So talk about being vulnerable and being real with you, right? When things like that happen, when like crazy funny, I like to use funny, but when you do weird shit like that, right? That means that something's going on there. And so I then read the book, and the book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. The premise is that when you're outside your comfort zone and you start feeling those feelings, anxiety, whatever, you don't want to block them, right? You're going to feel them, and having the understanding that that's okay, and that you're gonna persevere. That's going to feel uncomfortable, and then guess what? Your comfort zone is going to get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. In my 20s, in college, I think it's thanks to that, in doing all those things. And by the way, can anyone, give me some feedback? I need to know that I'm having a two-way conversation, right? So either in the chat, can you just say, give me a, I feel you, Eric. Like whatever we want to say, I hear you, Eric. Let me know if you're understanding what I'm talking about. You guys, you hear what I'm talking about? Let me know, because I want to make sure that it's resonating with you. All right. And I do want to ask for your feedback. Don't want to sound needy at all, but I just want to make sure that you guys are hearing me, and I'm sure you are. Okay. So okay, so where was I? In my 20s, I gave you the one example of fear of public speaking, right? Where am I today? Well, for the longest time, I've been doing a lot of live webinars. As you know, Lee, who's our training director, he's been more on the day-to-day operation side. But doing these kind of things, right? Like I don't even think about, like there's no like anxiety about coming in to do this kind of thing. And I know we're in a virtual environment, but also in real I want to say real life, but in person too. Like this is this right here. I also went to school for accounting. I have a full career in risk management, and I do a lot of consulting where I'm in person or doing calls like this with like a huge team. And I remember there used to be a time where if I was asked to do a meeting or do a meeting, like there would just be so much focus on that one little, on like that fear factor, not a factor anymore, right? Not to say that if a big meeting comes up, that I'm still, a little bit like, wanting to make sure that I'm prepared, but it's only because I put myself out there. In fact, how did I do that? Just to give you some examples, I remember being called a huge audience in college for a seminar, and I basically went from the guy, remember, that was hiding in the bathroom, to now like volunteering to read, right? And also just volunteering to be the guy. I would sit in the front row. So I set it up where I would build my comfort zone, right? And I think it's through that, and we talked about the dating thing too, where I just built my self-esteem, my confidence. I feel like right now, if you're a father like myself or a parent, um, we do actually have moms on the program too, and I want to thank everyone for being here. It's tough, I think I look at my 7-year-old son who does karate, and so important to teach self-esteem and inner confidence. So hear me out on the growth mindset, right? I want to challenge you, right? It's right now this holiday season, but that mindset was so huge for me in my personal success as a trader. And it from if you've been exposed to our methodology of trading, think about it. Every time you take a trade, right? Like the trade on Friday, and I know unfortunately it was a hit or miss depending on what index you traded. I know that it was a very successful trade. Lee made over $800 on gold. But do you know what I'm talking about? The prep before the trade. I remember part of my story of taking that $2,000 to $20,000 mindset. those trades, especially those big trades that I took, some of which I scored over $7,500 on, I remember telling myself, Eric, this is going to be a winning trade, right? Just think about that. Having a positive mindset. If you're walking around life in a negative, thinking that everything's going to go awry or wrong, it's just going to set you up for, I hate to use the word failure, but it's going to just set you up for, like, it's just going to tax your body. You're going to age faster in life, you know. So what it's important to know, like, and I'm not preaching anything, right? So like whether, you know, whether you're a religious person, you believe in God, etc., believe in yourself, right? So it's so important to believe in yourself, to love yourself. That is a game changer to believe in yourself and to love yourself. Every day, I'm happily married, 2 young kids. God forbid, right? Work, etc. Like, it's important to know that you love yourself no matter what happens, right? Love yourself and take that positivity with you and know that no matter what it is that you're facing in life, what risk you're taking. I'll give you a recent example, right? I moved to South Florida 7 years ago. When I moved down here, my parents were not happy about it. They were not, kind of, they didn't, they were basically very resistant to the idea of me moving to South Florida. Eric, what are you doing? I was living in New York. Why are you leaving New York? I moved to South Florida, right? I moved with my wife, my 5-month-old, and I took, a consulting position in addition to this, right? Um, I'm being real with you guys. I mean, 10-minute trades is definitely a big part of my total financial report card, if you will. But let's be real. I mean, it's in 2021, 2020, 2022, when you're raising a family, medical insurance, health insurance, it's very important to have several financial streams of income. And that's one of the things I want to share with you is what I did with 10-minute trades and how I took the money that I earned and invested it in several different financial vehicles. And that's something that I want to share more about. But basically, when I moved down here 2 years ago, I wanted to move to a better schooling zone, because my son was about to go to kindergarten. And so I purchased a home in Parkland, Florida. It has great schools. And at the time, it was a very risky move because I still own my house, and we fell in love with the house, and we purchased that house without even selling our house. And that's a move that maybe some of you have experienced. Has anyone ever done that? Everyone ever bought a house while you still haven't sold your house? Tough crowd today. I haven't really got much engagement from anybody, and I'm not sure if it's, maybe I'm not seeing it, but I'd like to ask everyone: has anyone ever purchased a house while still owning your house, and you're looking to sell it? We'll make it a shorter story. The house that I thought would sell like this, right? Because we put a lot of love in it. It ended up, we didn't get it. We got it off for like in a week, but things happen when you're, I spoke to a realtor in my neighborhood, and he said, Eric, when it comes to buying and selling a house, it's like a war. And so I ended up buying that house. I had 2 mortgages for about 4 months. Not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling when you're going to sleep at night knowing that you have a house that you're trying to sell. And you know what? I don't think I need to tell you the rest of the story. I think you guys know the rest of the story, and I hope it doesn't rub salt in anybody's wounds, because the house that I purchased here, right, it's gone up dramatically, just like a lot of real estate across the United States, but specifically the area that I'm in at. I mean, it's gone up just like dramatically, at least $200,000 within like 2 years. Like pretty crazy. So what's the message? What's the underlying message? The message is that I believed in myself. I knew that everything's going to work out. And so no matter what you're in right now, whether you have like a business proposition, or even right now, if you're starting your journey with 10-minute trade, you're wondering if this is going to work out, just believe in yourself and know that everything's going to be okay. Obviously you always have to scrutinize and be very diligent, making sure that you don't set yourself up for, something that's not kosher, if you will. But hopefully, if you've been exposed to myself or Lee, I could tell you that you are in good hands with us. and that put in the hard work, put in the time, and let yourself know that things are going to work out, right? Believe in yourself. Again, I'm not saying that this trade is going to work or that trade is going to work, but I'm saying that if you're going to if you're going to have a positive mindset, it's just going to help you. And be positive. Every trade that you set up, you know, I know it may sound a little ooh ha ha, like whatever you want to call it, right? It's important. Believe in yourself, love yourself, trust yourself. Okay? So this growth mindset is huge. It's huge because it's part of the reason why in my early 30s, right? Like I just see that every year I just continue to grow and grow and put myself out there in situations where like, wow, I would never do that. Forget about it 5 years ago. And so let's talk a little bit about investing, right? So one is actually investing money that you make from the program, but how you can get a growth mindset, just to give you a little like, give me some practical solutions. So figure out the things that you know, right? You don't need to hire a consultant or a coach. You know yourself, there are things that you can work on, right? Whether it's being a better parent, being a better spouse, your emotions when you're trading, and start listening. Look for podcasts out there, right? There's good people out there. For me, I mentioned that one book, right? And then I continue to go to conferences. In fact, this is a segue for the next topic, which is from going from day trading to investing, right? I was at a business conference in September, and during this business conference, we had a speaker. Actually, her name. I don't want to mess it up. Okay, it's actually this very beautiful woman. Her name is Kiana Danielle. Okay, and she's the founder of Investiva, and her niche is kind of financial education for women. And she basically was at this conference in Orlando. She was actually my favorite speaker. Not just because of her beauty. I mean, she really gave some really great. She's also not a financial advisor, right? She really gave some great education. And you know what? Here's a picture of me and Kiana during the conference. And I asked if she would be willing to talk to our group and something that I'm trying to set up. She's all over the place. She's on, Fox Business, NASDAQ Time, but she actually did a topic about why you shouldn't be a day trader and why it's important to invest. And when I met her here, I joked with her and I said, hey, listen, I'm kind of offended because, the program that I'm a part of, we're day traders, you know what I mean? And she said, oh, I'm sorry. But the truth is, after I read her book that she gave out at the conference, I realized that there was no reason to be offended because it's actually I listened to her big picture, which is what's our goal here with 10-minute trades, right? Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't specifically, talk to you, Sally or Tim one-on-one and like let's make a financial plan, right? But here's what I took away from what she mentioned, right? From shifting from day trading to investing. Don't get me wrong. Okay, so our tool, 10-minute trades, right? It's important to, number one, understand that money is just a tool, right? A lot of people that come into our program, just if I did a quick survey, and got a better understanding of the risk tolerance, I would already know that they wouldn't be a good a fit for our program. Because number one is a lot of folks who just put their money in their 401ks, right? And this is not a hit on 401ks. In fact, I'll get to that in a second. They're just not comfortable. Dismiss that. They're just not. We're actually going to be running to the 1245. They're not comfortable with losing money. In other words, when they lose, like, let's say they're trading stocks and they have a stock that went down, like that feeling of that loss, like it gets to them. They're down. It really affects their mood, and like there's an attachment to money, etc. And so at 10-minute trades, I would say that when I started, I also I had just a little bit of money that I saved that I was ready to take and to grow. And one of the things that, no matter who you listen to, like if you're looking for like a financial strategy, right? One of the unique things about 10-minute trades is that we actually have something a financial tool where we could actually show you how we're making money within a few seconds, and a financial tool that could help you make few hundred, few $1,000s right away, right? That's very powerful, right? So I took the $2,000 account, I turned it to $20,000, but then what? Did I take the $20,000 and trade it and make it $1 million? And the answer is no, I did not. And am I a phony for that? No. Why? Because I kind of did, and I don't know the specifics of what Kiana talked about, but I took the money that I made and I invested it, right? So I've invested in a couple of investments that I could talk about. Number one is the first thing I did is I invested in an oil mining fund, which I did two. One of them was a flop. The other one was okay. Okay. One of the other investments that I did, and these are investments that I also shared with the 10-minute trades community as well. I usually don't do anything else except for what we talk about, which is appointment-based trading. But in this 9 years, right, I've only talked about two other things. One was investing in oil investing, right? There's mining companies out there that you could actually invest. They have crowdfunding stuff. And then crypto, right? In fact, don't want to even go on a tangent there, but we actually presented an opportunity for folks to learn about crypto 2 years ago. Anyone who's bought crypto from that point on is doing very pretty, right? But that's not the 10-minute trades. We're focusing on appointment-based trading. But the one investment that I made, right, that actually I would say is my best investment, is investing in the 10-minute trades business, right? So I actually put in a lot of money for my trading success, right? And I invested to become a partner with Jay. And if you read Robert Kiyosaki, any of these like known financial advice gurus, it's kind of cliche. There's a group that I was a part of, Mike Dillard, the Elevation Group, and the truth is you can invest in this, that, and investing is great. But one major theme is that take a look at a lot of the wealthy people that you know in your circle, and more chances are not they're a business owner, right? So 100%, in addition to investing into things like I mentioned, like whether it's long-term investing in the stock market, crypto, or now that you could do crowdfunding for real estate, etc. Having a goal of maybe having your own business, right? So I'm not going to go into like a whole owning your own business tangent, but here's the theme though. The theme is, and this is where I feel like we should have been giving better guidance on, and we will. What's your goal, right? Are you kind of semi-retired right now and just looking for some additional income, and would be happy with like another $100, to potentially a couple $100 a day, maybe an extra $1,000? I'm being real here, right? Like, because we know even $100 to $900 a day consistently, not so easy. But we know from the family money trades switch that we did, we had a trade on Friday that made $800. In fact, let me share that with everybody real quick. So this is the U.S. jobs report on Friday. Guys, I'll be honest with you. I haven't seen anybody chat in the chat box, so I'm wondering now if it's me. Can everyone see this picture? And now I'm kind of forcing the thing. I just want a yes or no. Can you guys? Oh, I see it. It's me, guys. I knew I was goofing off. So now I know it's in the question box. Okay, so everyone can hear me. And Mark, Tim, Rem, gotcha. Guys, thank you very much. Larry, how am I doing so far, guys? Are you enjoying this? I know I'm a little rusty, but even I want to be, Oswald, awesome. Seriously, thank you. Okay, I'm gonna thank you. Tim says very real. Willie says good stuff. I appreciate you guys. You guys want me to leave this picture on? Or actually, maybe I should just edit myself out, right? I'll send this picture out, everybody. But man, when I met her in person, Kiana, I don't know if I made the best first impression. I was still lucky enough to get a picture with her. But man, she is the total package. And I mean that, like super smart. She came on stage and she's not, she doesn't have the most amazing voice. And she was like singing a song. My point again about going outside our comfort zone, that was probably her thing there. She's like, I want to be a dream singer one day. She sang a song like to like 3,000 people live and in person. We're in Florida here, so we're doing in person stuff like that. Yes, Mark, you're right. I got to be careful. Wife's not home today, so this is just I have to make sure this one doesn't go out to the public streams. All right, this will be unlisted. All right, so guys, this is the trade from Friday, and I know I'm not zoomed in all the way, but you see 829.54. This is the U.S. jobs report. Lee traded gold. There's no audio, but as you can see here, he has 5 contracts. It shoots up to the north, and it hits all of his profit targets. Yeah, and he made. I know you can't see it. Let me see if I do a full screen. Maybe zoom in. Oh no, it's not working. So he made $820, I believe. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to second. Okay, back to me. And so I would say that what's very unique about what we do is that no matter what it is that you want to invest in, right? Let's say you want to invest in a franchise, right? Or you want to invest in an online business, right? Or you want to start selling stuff on Amazon, right? All these things you need money for, right? And sure, you could. We live in America, or most of our members live in America, and even globally right now, there's good opportunities to get good, credit, right? Lending, if you will. But what I would say what's really cool about our program is that not only do we talk about like a strategy where you can actually earn money, we show you. I just showed you a strategy of how we made $820 in a few seconds, right? And so where I was going with this was I was like, what's your personal goal, right? Think about that. We're closing up the year here in 2021. Are you just looking for like some side income in addition to whatever you're doing, or maybe you're retiring and just looking for like another $1,000? Great. Or are you looking to save $15,000 or take the $5,000 or $10,000 that you have set aside, looking to see if you could grow that a little bit faster to 20, 30,000 so that you could invest it in this vehicle, right? And so that's what happened for me. And when I made the switch and I became Jay's partner, and my focus wasn't anymore about taking my account and growing it. And I've been very honest about this. I've been focused on the business development side, and then I've been focusing on my other investments in terms of like hard day to day, whether it was real estate, and some of the other investment opportunities. And so you have to see what are you trying to get out of this program, right? And it could be, what I'm gonna, Eric, I see there's opportunity for me to make at least those family money trades. I want to capitalize that. I want to take that, and then I want to put it into my 401k, or I want to put it into my long-term investment account. Now on 401k stuff, if you're a W-2 worker, there's no reason to make it like 401ks are not good. I mean, there's an absolute tax advantage there, right? So if you have enough cash flow, in other words, you're able to invest in your 401k, there's a tax benefit. So as long as you can do that and you have enough cash flow, by all means, I mean, without having to try to think about all these creative solutions, there are some things that you could be doing right away. Now, I didn't want to ask this right now because we have so much other stuff to be doing that I want to get to about like the week ahead. But I'll tell you that I will open the door. If there's some things outside of 10-minute trades that I could definitely teach you. One of them is how to start your own online business, right? Not something that I have like in the short term, but this idea of investing, I'm thinking about evolving our 10-minute trades program. So so we'll give you the tools to be able to capitalize on point-based trading, but then having another series of 10-minute invests, right? Where we present to you opportunities where, I don't have any equity in, any stake, but for example, that oil company that I mentioned, and I'll be real with you in how what my personal experience was, crypto, and presenting you opportunities where now you could take your profits that you made and invest it somewhere else. What do you guys think about this idea, right? Of just kind of creating like another investment expansion of the 10-minute trades to present you opportunities, not to pitch you on stuff, right? But basically to present an opportunity where like, okay, now I'm making a few bucks here. What am I going to put it in, right? Am I going to make the mistake of just spending it on this and that? All right. So that's an idea that I have. And I think, you know, just one other thing in growth mindset, have an open mind. Be open, because when I listened to her, it's like Kiana, and first I'm like, did she offend me? Like day trading is gambling. I mean, the truth is, everything in life is a gamble, right? Everything in life is a gamble. There's risks in everything, right? Buying a house, people were waiting to buy houses right now, and they can't afford. They can't afford. I mean, I probably couldn't afford to live in the house I live in right now because of what's been going on the last 2 years. So, guys, the two themes for today were growth mindset. There's so much more on that one. I mean, there's just always a piece that you have to, so many pillars, right, for the growth mindset. But attitude, I think attitude, knowing that, looking yourself in the mirror, knowing the things that you can improve on, and not getting upset at yourself, and knowing that you're gonna grow, and you're gonna expand your comfort zone, you're gonna get uncomfortable. We talked about that. And then trading. I want each of you to think about, what is your goal for 2022? Are you looking to, even right now, like, are you looking to just make a few extra bucks a month and help that with your monthly expenses? Or do you have some sort of plan, where you want to start up this business or investment? You're looking to put it in there, okay? So those are the two major themes from today's podcast. And now I want to get to the fun stuff, okay? And I would say this: no matter what we do, with whether it's 10-minute trades, invest, whatever, during these podcasts, this is going to be an opportunity for me to continue to do these real talks with you and share with you and better guide you, right? Because even though I'm not a financial advisor, I can't have like a one-on-one conversation with you, Mark, Bob. We still can, but I'm not a financial advisor, right? But I could guide everybody, so that we're building our community to be better. I want everyone to grow and evolve, and I want you guys to flourish with us. My goal is that I want everyone to have prosperity. And who am I to be telling you, when I talk about financial success? Listen, I'm not, I'm not, how can I say it, right? I live in a nice house, live in a nice neighborhood, live very comfortably. No, I'm not riding a Tesla or a super fancy car. I ride a Toyota Highlander XLE, just got a new one actually. But live life very, I'm in a good spot. I want everyone to be in a good spot where they're going to sleep at night and they feel like, they're on top of their finances and growing. Okay. So what are some of the holiday gifts? So first of all, I didn't even mention my background, right? It's December, and can anyone guess this background now that I know that you guys are playing along with me? Guess where this is? I'll give you a hint. It's somewhere cold. Can anyone guess this background? Well, I'm going to my in-laws. So for some of you who know, my wife is Canadian. This background here is from a mountain called Offord. It's in Quebec, Canada. It's very close to the Vermont border. Okay, so I'm looking forward. I'll be going there between Christmas and New Year's, a little bit before Christmas, and first time in 2 years. Yes, it is a ski resort. I'm just seeing the response. Hold on a second. Michal, you mentioned dog, because my dog's actually sitting next to me over here, but my got my virtual background up there, so I'm not sure what you're seeing. All right, so that's where I'll be going. Yes, usually I just like to go skiing alone, spend time with Vicky's family, my wife's family. But this time around, my son, I want to expose my son and my daughter to like the winter sports. I want to teach them skiing and ice skating, and we're gonna have 2 weeks of winter, and then we get back to sunny South Florida. So, what are my holiday gifts for you, and what are the things that we have going on this week? Okay, so first of all, we have first thing is that everyone's gonna get 12 days of free access to our trade room starting tomorrow. You don't need to opt into anything. I'm going to send you an email. Actually, let me just show you how it's going to work, okay? So basically, whoops. To get to our trade room lobby, you're going to go to 10mtpro.com. 10mtpro.com right there. Okay. So I'll put that into it's here in the chat. 10mtpro.com. Then I'm going to email everybody a password. So all you're going to do is, and here's the trading schedule, so you can see our first trade is tomorrow. Okay. At 4 o'clock is our first trade, and we actually have another cool event, which I'll talk to you about in a second. So when you see that email, you're going to put in your name, your email address, and then a password that I'm going to email to everybody, okay? And you're going to be able to get into our trade room for 12 days. It's going to be from now the 6th all the way until the 22nd, 12 days of free trade room access. Some of the folks here on today's podcast are already trade room members. I have gifts for everybody, okay? That's the first one. The second one is I want to talk about a webinar tomorrow that Lee's going to be hosting. It's going to be an awesome webinar. Go to www.familymoneytrades.com, or if you go to 10minutepro.com, it's right here, the long link. It's important that you put in www.familymoneytrades.com. Tomorrow Lee's going to go over the 3 best family money trades for 2021, right? Aren't you curious to know, like, what were the best performing family money trades, which those are the trades are like the ones that are the best of the best that you would trade your hard-earned family money with. That's going to be tomorrow at 12 o'clock. And then this webinar is open to all of our 10-minute trade subscribers, so non-members too. Anyone who's a subscriber, okay? So make sure you tune in for that, right? So I would register now if you can, because we are opening the doors to everybody. We do have 250 spots, but you know what? You never know. I mean, to me, I feel like this is a very exciting topic to know the 3 best family money trades. And in fact, Lee's going to go over 2 of the 3 in detail and showing you how they performed in each of the months and showing you the videos of the trades, right? So it's really, really cool. And then let me slow down a little bit. I know I'm going a little fast. I'm trying to finish on time, but I'm in no rush. I put it at 12:45 specifically so I could. We have a few minutes afterwards. So tomorrow, familymoneytrades.com. That's going to be the top 3 family money trades, and then our first free live trade room for members and for non-members. It's going to be tomorrow. It's going to be in here. It's going to be right in here. You're going to go here, name, email, and the password. I'm going to email to everybody. Okay. And then we also have 2 other cool gifts. We have a free masterclass, okay, on Friday. So tomorrow, Lee's going to go over the best family money trades for the year, focusing on the top 3. The best one, Lee's going to do a separate free 90-minute masterclass, which normally for a masterclass like this, we could easily charge $497 for, okay? In fact, we have a masterclass coming up in January, focusing on earnings, and that's going to be a $497 product. So it's going to be a free masterclass focusing on the #1 appointment-based family money trade of the year. That's just going to be this Friday at noon. It's going to be open to everybody. And then that same trade on Thursday, as part of your free trade room, 12 days of free trade room access, the day before you'll actually be able to see us in the trade that one. Okay, that's the WASDE report. So to recap, tomorrow you got the top 3 family money trades webinar tomorrow at noon. Of course, we have a bunch of family money trades. Look at this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 family money trades. Wow! But the 3 events to highlight are tomorrow's webinar, that trade room on Thursday, which we're actually going to trade the WASDE report. Friday, where we're going to do the free masterclass right here, and then on Saturday, I don't want to give it away, but on Saturday, to top things off, we have a really amazing opportunity, another live training where Lee's going to show you an opportunity to basically, I won't give it away, so stay tuned. So Saturday as well, we're going to have a special live training event too. So what do you guys think? Pretty jammed week, right? That's why I told Lee, don't come on today's podcast. Save your voice, because you have so many presentations that you're going to be doing this week. So many traders. I mean, think about it, guys. I mean, look at all the stuff that's going on here. Look at all these trade rooms in the lobby. We have 1 trade room tomorrow. Then Wednesday we have 1. There's 4 trades. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 trade rooms. Then we have 3 trade rooms on Thursday. A lot of time, in these 12 days of free trade room access. Okay, so I hope that everyone enjoyed episode 3. This is our beta test episode. I'm trying to improve and make this a better experience. Anyone have any questions for me before we go? And any questions? This is unscripted, podcast. Any questions that you want to ask me about anything that I shared with you about, some of the mindset stuff that I talked about, or anything more specifics in detail in terms of investment stuff? If you don't want to ask it here right now, I will end it if I don't see anyone in another second. Email me. Email me at eric@10minutetrades.com. Okay. Even if you don't have a question, I want to engage with you. I appreciate your feedback. ERIC at 10minutetrades.com. Yes, Willie, I am going to be recording this, and I'm only going to be sending this out to, well, I won't be sending it out to my wife, right, Mark? But I'll be sending this out to everybody on our list. Okay, Willie? So you get it. No, my wife's cool. She actually saw the picture of me and actually gave her the book. Want to see if I have it in my room, but I don't. Actually, I have a few copies. I gave it to all of my neighbors. A great book that she has just about investing in general, right? All right, guys. So Eric Roth here from 10 Minute Trades. I just want to say, no matter if you're already a member, just starting on the journey, we appreciate you, Lee and I, and Jay, of course, who started this whole thing, right? Believe it or not, next year, 10 Minute Trades is going to be our 10-year anniversary since Jay founded the company in 2012. This is an exciting time, guys, okay? So rest assured, no matter what happens in the markets, sometimes we have good trades, sometimes things are a little bit tricky. We had a great trading experience Friday. We just want to let you know that I'm committed to continue to make the 10 Minute Trades community, one of the best financial education communities out there. We started out just a simple strategy, appointment-based trading, but we're going to grow, right? We're going to stick to what we know works, right? We're going to improve. We're always going to improve things. Behind the scenes, Lee and I are talking to our programmer how we can make our software better. The trade room software that we're using now, we just a lot of things. So just know that if you don't see me during the week as much as you see Lee, I am busy thinking about and actually doing things. In fact, in 12 minutes, I have a call with my admin, Holly, where we're going to be going over a few processes that I want to make better. All right, guys. So now I'm just rambling. So guys, Eric from 10 Minute Trades, have a fantastic week. www.familymoneytrades.com. Sign up for our webinar tomorrow, 10mtpro.com. Stay tuned for that email that I mentioned. You'll have it sometime today ahead of tomorrow. And thank you, seriously, thank you for staying with me to the end here. I enjoy this. I will continue to do these podcasts as long as I have an audience and I feel like I can share value with you. I will do these, and I will, I love doing them. So thanks, guys, very much. Have a great week, and we'll see you in the trade room, like Lee says, right? We'll see you in the trade room tomorrow. We'll see you on the webinar at noon tomorrow. Very exciting to see our best performing family money trades. We'll show it all to you. All right, guys? Thank you very much, Ronald. I appreciate the kind words, Tim. And I just want to there's a small group here, so just want to acknowledge everyone. Tim, Sally, Louis, Rem, Willie, Michal, Mark left already, but he'll get kicked out of this. And Michael, Oswald. Seriously, thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Don't need to be in front of a large group of 3,000 people. Just having this conversation with you, it's fantastic. And guys, stay sharp, stay healthy, be safe, and have a great rest of your week. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.